Hey, good morning, traders, and happy Friday. How you doing, Rickster, JB? Everybody doing okay? Oh, Friday. Wow. Happy Thursday. Excuse me. Hey, Julie, Jack. I'm trying to rush it a little bit here. Happy Friday. No, today's Thursday. Today's Thursday. Yeah, Tourette's, yeah. Well, hey. It looks like we're getting down here to this 434, 433 area today. So, okay, let's get it done. So, I guess the big question now, is the market going to find a few buyers down here and bounce up? Are we going to continue? Maybe the thing to do is just have to wait for the market to show its colors. It can show its colors in the first 15 minutes. And of course, it can change its color every 15 minutes from there. It happens. It's the way it is. So if we have a move down like this, and like this, what I mean by that is that's a nice little trend. That's a nice little swing. So what we need to see from there is that right there, is if we're actually going to turn around and be bullish, which I don't have any reason to think we are, okay? But if we are, it's not going to happen in just one big move, unless there's some major news event that does it. But let's just say that these two lines are the bottom, okay? Just for talking purposes. It's going to take a couple of days, and in that couple of days, you might even get a little bit of a hope candle here. And then what'll happen is it'll pull back because the market knows it needs to test that high. And that's what we need to look for. We cross up there, and then that becomes the tradable bottom. So in essence, what we have is in straight lines, we have a low to a high to a higher low to a higher high. So that's what I'm going to be looking for if the market wants to be bullish. However, I'm not too keen on that idea right now. I think this was pretty hurtful. I think the market, I guess another option is this right here too. Another option is we rally up a little bit to this consolidation and then down. We could do that too. Bottom line, I'm feeling more bearish than I am bullish. So let's go look at that dark chart. Now, we've talked about this a few days. I know there's a lot of new folks in the room. This chart here is an amazing chart. And if you don't do daily, if you do hourly, that's okay. This chart is an amazing chart. And maybe you don't do hourly. Maybe you do 15-minute. That's okay. That's an amazing chart. And it just tells you when the bulls are there, and it keeps you from guessing. Now, what it will do, the downside to it, is it will keep you from picking the bottom, which I happen to think is a good thing. But if you are a bona fide bottom picker, then this chart's not going to help you too much unless you come down here and go to a 2-minute chart. Now, I don't know how bottom picking you want to get, but that's pretty bottom picking right here. I think we could make that happen. So just keep an eye on it. Right now, we would be looking for a reversal. So if we see a reversal, say on a 2-minute chart, this is what it would look like. And you'd be in that early game of bottom pickers, okay? Now, that's not my cup of tea, but I know traders do that, and that's okay. And here is a way to control it somewhat. So what happens is there's some bottom picking that can go on there, and then it comes up, and you can see it failed right there. Very nice and clean, the red and the green thing. I love this chart. I think this chart is the way to be, to give you that starting point, that broader picture. But a very nice chart here. Okay, let's get back to this. So right now, I'm still thinking there's a little bit more downside here. I don't think the bad news is over just yet. If I had to pick something where, today, I challenge the low line today. Okay, there you go. I think I can be pretty safe there. Challenge the low line, and we'll see what happens. Below that, we're looking at 427 and some change. All right, yesterday, let's see, do we need to do anything else? Yeah, let's look at FNGU. FNGU may be the #1 chart out there. Now, it's never going to replace my SPY the way I use the SPY, because there's just not enough stocks on it. The problem is the stocks that's on it eats the lunch of most everything out there. That's the problem. That's why it's so powerful and so worthy to watch. So this chart here really looks like it's moving down more. We've got a top, and then another top here. It's just, here we're moving up, here we're moving up. We could call this a shoulder, head, and move over here. You could call that a shoulder. You could even call this a shoulder right here. So things are looking a little bit south. I think the dotted deuce down here needs to get tagged, and that also is about that low of August 18th. And then after that, I would say the 200 period moving average right here. But if you look at that 200 moving average, there's not a lot here to stop it. So that means we just may see a move down here to 89. That's going to be painful for folks if you're trying to counter trend, okay? It can be done, counter trend trade that is. It can be done. Some folks will even win on it. But the majority of traders will win when they have the market at their back. Bears have your back right now, okay? All right. Yesterday we picked some stocks, put them on the watch list. Let's just run through those today. Kind of a chicken way of picking stocks this morning, but this is what I'm going to do. And we're just going to go from the top to the bottom. We're not going to get through them all. There's no way. There's 57 on here. So SQQQ, yesterday I bought SQQQ, and it's working out pretty good. I was up very nice at the close yesterday. It looks like I'm going to be up a little bit this morning. That's looking pretty good. So, excuse me, those of you that did buy it, nice job. Don't be afraid to take profits off. Remember our calculator for doubling your money. If you've reached an area, or if you've reached enough profit where you can take partials off the table, that you can help get to that number of doubling your account, that might be wise to do, and then let the rest of it work up higher if it wants. But profits are always a good thing. So anyway, SQQQ is still looking pretty good here. It's still a buy. It might be a little high for that buy, but it's still a buy. Nothing saying it's stopping. And right now, it looks like $20.77 is a top. VLO was looking a little short, heading down. And I'm not saying it's still not short. We've got a little we've got a little bullish candle here that's trying to get going. The big question is, will it do it? So this little bit of a wick up here, this bearish engulf, has met with some argument. So the bulls are trying to keep VLO up. The thing about VLO, I think we should just watch this top, 146.80. Above that's a buy. Watch the trend indicator. Anything below that will look as a short. PWR was down. This is one of these charts that was mentioned yesterday. Somebody mentioned it as a short trade. I wasn't too keen on that short trade. Don't get me wrong, it's not because I was long. What I was not so keen on is this thing has been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. That's not the time to go short. You missed that boat. That party's over, man. There's no, yeah, that party's over. Now, it can set up again, which just very well may be what it's doing. It could rally up and then start to turn over, give us one of those 3-8 trap type entries, and that could make us some good money to the downside. Fox A, look at that. That's an excellent looking short. We're getting a little pop up to the upside this morning. I'm going to get rid of this right here. We're getting a little pop to the upside this morning. That could be a potential entry in that area. This chart doesn't begin to get long. Oh, we're going to have to get above 32.55 to be on the long side. So where we are now, which is looks like it's right there, this right here is potential short area. MUSA, this is still moving up, still has potential to the long side. Really easy trade. I would say 337.05. You don't want it to be below there, because if it is, what'll happen is the T line becomes a target, the 17 EMA becomes a target, and that top right there becomes a target. And that represents about 4%. That, especially, well, yeah, on a $300 chart, you're buying the option. So on 4%, that option is going to be an easy 15%, and that it will just be disaster to your account. So put that stop in there. It still looks really good, really does, as long as it can continue its fight going against the market. CBOE, this one's hot on the watch list here. We had a big pop up, and here we've pulled back. This is going to be a perfect, say a perfect chart to talk about for the 3-8 trap, and we'll do that here. We'll talk about that this morning. Whoops, this is the low one, isn't it? I've got it marked wrong. There we go. That's a 3-8 trap right there. So we'll talk about that after the market opens up. We'll take a look and see what we can come up with there. That's a beautiful chart, and we had a really nice breakout here. Let me turn this over once. There we go. Let's take a look at FNGU, which we've already looked at it. You can see it's in a downtrend. Next target's 143 down there at the dotted deuce. ATI, big move to the downside. Now, yesterday it was sitting right in here. You know, I need to probably get rid of these, huh? There we go. And one more. And there we go. All right. So now that we're popping down this morning, this is where we're going to open up. If we start to rally up, I think that might be a prime entry area for short, and still looking for it to fall down to around 40.80, and then down here around 39. Let's look at that. Yeah, look at that 39. Look at the, there we go. Look at the left and the area that price might come down to seek some safety. Let's look at KBH. This is another one that I shorted yesterday when it was still up here in that neighborhood. And this was a bear 3-8 trap yesterday. Am I going to pick the right one or wrong one? There we go. There we go. That's a bear 3-8 trap, and it was clearly in that bear 3-8 trap yesterday. It zoomed down toward the end of the day, did very well for the account, and now it looks like we might get a little bit more. It might try to bounce around a little bit, try to pick up some buyers, and it might even be able to pick up buyers to move up this big candle just a little bit, but that might be another opportunity to short on down to maybe that 42.60 area. All right, that's what I have here this morning. Let me get all the other stuff tied up and put together, and then I will be back here at the bottom of the hour. That'd be 9:30 when the market opens up East Coast time. So till then, grab a hot cup of coffee, cold drink, whatever you do in the morning, and we'll see you here in about 25 minutes. Thanks, everybody.